What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Who You Got with
Mellow.
and Rado is a sports podcast where we talk about your favorite sports highlights, sports debates, and sports matchups. And man, the NBA playoffs have been in full effect. The
Ooh.
conference semifinals are finally finished.
Mm-hmm.
We saw some amazing game sevens.
Oh
What
yes.
we hear about to talk about today, Mello?
We're here to talk about the conference
Mm.
finals. Four teams
Oof.
left. Only one can be NBA champion.
That's right.
In the East, we got yours truly, the Boston Celtics, big C's up,
Gotta give it to you. Your
going
team made it,
against
bro. Your team made it.
yeah, and when people thought we wasn't, and they're going against another team that's been slept on in
The
the
Miami
Miami
Heat.
Heat.
That's true.
Yeah,
They haven't slept on this year. Got a lot of depth. We'll see what happens there.
exactly.
And of course, in the West, we got a crazy little matchup as well. Not a little matchup. We could call it a big matchup because we got the Golden State Warriors
Mm-hmm.
against obviously Luka Doncic came out and balled out against Phoenix Suns, and he came in and he's in the Western Conference Finals. So we got Warriors versus Dallas there. That's gonna be a crazy one too.
Oh yeah, now Western Conference Finals. Obviously, you got Luca versus the world,
Mm.
with him and a bunch of what everyone consider role players, and obviously the resurgence of the championship Warriors, missing a couple pieces, adding a couple pieces. So
Yeah,
that's
still got those little
definitely
young guys
showing
showing out.
exactly,
So
definitely showing that they could be in contention, and that's what we're here to talk about. NBA playoffs is still going on. Uh, two two matchups this round.
that's
Obviously,
right.
conference finals. Whoever wins become the you know
Yeah,
champion
East
of
champion
the
of each
East, champion
conference,
of
and
the
they go on
West.
to the finals. And if we want to just real quick look at the bracket beforehand, if you guys are just listening to us, we're just looking at the bracket real quick, checking out how these teams had to get there. Of course, the Golden State Warriors, they had to get through Denver, and then they just had to get through Memphis. Dallas had to get through Utah, and they just beat Phoenix. And
Mm-hmm.
Miami had to get through Atlanta, and then they had to beat Philadelphia. And then the Boston Celtics, of course, had to beat Brooklyn, and they had a great 7 game series with Milwaukee as well. So now we got the last four matchups of the NBA playoffs. So we're definitely here to talk about it. So what series do you want to talk about first, man?
You already know. You already know. I'll be honest, man. Like I said, we're gonna talk about Heat versus Celtics, Eastern Conference Finals. Uh, Big shout out to the C's. Actually, we have now played in half the whole history of conference finals.
Yeah, I mean,
Half.
you guys already like took over the '60s and
Historic.
'70s and the '80s. I
Historic.
mean,
So yeah, so
yeah, I think
it
you guys went through like 10 in a row in the '60s. So
yeah,
with
we
Bill
had we
Russell,
had
so
2 decades where we damn near
right. I mean, the
ran the
Larry
whole
Bird era and
NBA.
then the Bill Russell
Exactly.
era, of course. But
Exactly.
hey, I
And
mean, Lakers are
obviously the
close to you
Lakers are the
guys.
only one that could contend with us. Both tied with 18 rings at this point because of their last one. So yeah, we got the Heat,
Yeah,
best team in the East. Battling injuries all season. They really
true.
did. Didn't get much buzz heading into the postseason. And then you got the Celtics. Iron sharpened iron, and they pretty much had to go through a gauntlet to get where they are.
Did they?
And
Yeah,
to me, the 7 game series that was the Celtics versus Milwaukee
that
was
was a
honestly better
crazy
than to
series,
for
man.
me better than anything we've seen yet, except for Luca taking 7 games against the Suns. So right
Hey,
there, those two damn near could have been NBA Finals potential matchups, and they played out as well, just like that. But obviously, two people had to win. So yeah, pretty much now we got Heat versus Celtics.
yeah,
When you
yeah.
come down to the Heat, Jimmy Butler is pretty much the choo choo choo. He's the engine that goes. Like he's pretty much the
Still
whole
doing
Heat
it.
team, offense and defense. Um, it can't even be overstated. Literally, how much they rely on him on both sides of the ball. I remember looking up his on-off numbers, and pretty much damn near top five in the league when he's on
Yeah, on
offense,
offense. Yeah.
and on defense,
Mm.
you might as well have him looking like the Rockets
Yeah,
when he's off.
he's that bad.
No,
Yeah.
they're
Is
that
he?
bad
Oh, okay, they're that bad.
when he's off the court.
Oh,
Without
got you.
Jimmy Butler,
Without
the
him.
Heat don't exist.
Mm.
Basically, they're pretty much nothing.
That's in a regular season, right?
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
just and obviously but the Heat didn't really face, to me, in my opinion. You have no defenders in Atlanta series, so you couldn't even take that serious. And obviously, you really had no defenders in the Philly series. My homeboy made fun of me because I'm like, oh, you had a damn near no good Harden and injured Embiid that had to come back early just to try to force it to a good series. And he's like, oh, now no one can play. Now they're going up against scrubs. And I was like, we all know the Harden we seen.
I was gonna say like Embiid is an MVP candidate, second this year in MVP voting, and
yeah, but he should have never came back. He was injured.
I think he definitely should have came back. They were down 3-0.
Well,
he definitely should have came. Or
no,
they could. I'm sorry, no, they were down 2-0. They could have been 3-0.
Choice, but like
he definitely should have came back.
The rest of the Philly team.
Listen, they made it a 6-game series against them. They needed them. Like
so that's the thing. They made it a 6-game series, and basically they had no real defenders over there. So for me, the reason why I mentioned those two series is because Butler has yet to face a group of elite perimeter defenders like the Celtics have, and all we've done I could agree with that for sure. Yeah, is stop top stars and force their role players to beat us, which hasn't happened.
I mean, if you think about it, game plan. You guys stopped like probably the number 1 and number 2 best players in the league, Giannis and Kevin Durant.
And so now far. Jimmy Butler, without Kyle Lowry and an inconsistent Tyler Hero, is the next in line. I'm not like, to me it's gonna be a great series, you know what I'm saying? But like I'm obviously we gonna win. I'm not that worried.
Okay.
Like I would say I got way more to say, but
all right, but I mean,
you know we're in this, damn well who the hell I'm gonna choose right off the rip.
So I mean I'll give it the Celtics have gone through a crazy series just now with Milwaukee as well. Like they went through a crazy 7-game series where a lot of people had Celtics just rolling right past them without Middleton. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you guys rolled right past through Brooklyn when nobody thought that was going to happen. So it's been a pretty crazy playoffs for you guys. But
that's the thing, you gotta give the Bucks credit. Like everyone just without Middleton don't mean they're scrubs. Like they're the defending champions.
That's where I was just gonna go with this. Like the Bucks, the one thing that they did good was you guys didn't focus everything on Giannis. You guys were able to like let him spread it around. Not to everybody. You guys made sure that everyone else was covered except Giannis and Jrue Holiday. Those are the 2 guys that you guys let beat. And if you think about it, those are the stars. But you guys are going to have to switch it up in this series where you're going to have to take Jimmy and you're going to have to take Kyle Lowry. I think in this series, Kyle Lowry might not even like start every game. Eric Spoelstra is one hell of a coach, man. Definitely probably.
He's not even playing right now.
He is playing. Kyle Lowry is playing. And he is. Yeah, he is. And
I literally just looked right now. He did not practice yesterday on Sunday.
This series he'll be playing.
He said he's not playing game 1. He's not playing
game one. But this is gonna be a long series. Remember, this is gonna be a long series.
They don't even literally. They don't gotta come back till game 3.
Even so, it's gonna be a long series for me. I think that if Kyle Lowry does start some games, he might not start every game because I do think Cody Martin's gonna be in there. But I do think that the way that you guys were going against Milwaukee is not the way that you should be going against Miami because Jimmy Butler's been balling out right now in these playoffs. Just the previous playoff series, he just had 30 points a game. Like he was balling out, and I mean, I think that Bam Adebayo, he was averaging over 10 rebounds. He had nearly double every single game in that series, 10 and 10 each game, almost like 2 blocks a game. So their defense is pretty good as well. Like they have a very good interior. I agree that their outside defense isn't great, and one thing that you guys are going to be good at is the 3-point shooting. I think that the Celtics are really good at outside corner shooting, and obviously JT just does his thing and shoots threes as well as Brown. But I do think that the way that it's looking for me, it's looking like a longer series just because I do think that, first of all, Miami has the home field advantage. It's going to be two games in Miami. I do think you guys are going to take one of those, but after four games, I think it's going to be tied up 2-2. And then after that, we're going to have to see where the series goes. But it's going to be interesting to me what JT and Brown does. Who do you think is going to do better in this series, JT or Brown, for you guys?
I can't even talk about that yet.
Okay.
I have to digest so much you just said.
Okay, yeah. Break it down for me.
I don't even understand.
Break down what you don't agree with.
What you're watching.
Oh, come on.
What you're watching.
Let's hear the Celtics bias.
So, not even the Celtics bias. 2 things. 1, what we done against KD, what we done against Giannis is exactly what we have and what we're going to do against Jimmy Butler. We are going to force a wall around him and force him to give the ball up to other people. And at that point, he has no other people. That's literally, no, that's the thing. That's literally what we've done all postseason against whatever star the team has to offer. Like, what do you like? So you say we have to play Jimmy Butler different. Like, what do you think we have to do different than put our best defender on him and pretty much build a wall anytime he drives to the basket? That's literally what we plan on doing.
So do you think that you're gonna make him score less than 20 a game? I don't think that's gonna happen.
We didn't make Giannis score less than 20 a game.
But Giannis didn't have the depth that Miami has. Miami has a lot more depth than 3-point shooters. Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, Martin. 3-point shooters.
Literally, Duncan Robinson hasn't played 1 minute yet. Literally, in the playoffs. He's not even in rotation. Max Struss is over him.
He can still get minutes in this game. Yo, it's all about series matchups. I understand. It's all about series.
But that's
he's a tall forward.
You're talking about someone as a 3-point shooter who's not even in the playoff rotation right now.
They didn't need him against certain teams.
But they don't need him at all.
But they do now when they're playing
When
they're playing against somebody like JT.
He's not playing?
When they're playing
you know why he's not playing?
Why is he not playing?
Because
he did play the playoffs, by the way, because I remember him playing in the Atlanta series. So you're wrong, by the way.
When they were scraping people, when they put him in,
no, not at all. He was playing in the rotation in the Miami series.
He's not in the 8-man rotation. I promise you. I promise you.
Well,
Max,
I'm looking at the stats.
I've literally been looking at how many minutes per game he's averaged. I promise you. Pull up NBA.com right now.
That's the thing. You just said he wasn't in a rotation. He is in a rotation.
He's not in an 8-man rotation. He can get scrub minutes.
Yesterday, I agree with you.
Some nigga named Fetz got some playing time on the Boston Celtics, and I'm the biggest fan ever. Do I know who that nigga is?
Here's the thing, though.
No, but he got playoff minutes. He's not getting no meaningful playoff minutes in a rotation.
Also, yesterday you guys started Grant Williams when you don't usually start Grant Williams. Is that true or not? Like,
do you know why we started Grant Williams?
Because it's a better matchup. Because
Time Lord's been injured. Are you not watching this?
But you guys have Thies. Why don't you start Thies when you usually start Thies in a regular season?
No, we don't.
In a regular season, you did.
No, we don't, bro.
Why was Grant Williams a bench player in the regular season and Thies was a starter?
He wasn't. The only time Thies was a starter is when we had to keep Grant Williams on the bench for scoring purposes when we had one of our big men
Grant Williams was a bench player most of the season. That Grant Williams is a bench player most of the season.
Yes, but you're literally bringing up Grant Williams for no point.
My point is that...
What's your point?
My point is that when matchups happen... You guys have a lot of forwards.
Grant Williams is literally our 7th man coming off the bench.
I'm
talking about someone who hasn't
Robinson
played.
Is 9th.
No.
Yes, he is.
Most teams don't even play with 9 playoff.
Yeah, they do.
Oh my god! Like you're trying to convince me. You're trying to convince me that Duncan Robinson has played any meaningful minutes in his playoffs. And that's not even my point. Like, we're literally going off conversation because
even last series he did play. I mean, he didn't have many shots, but still he didn't.
Look at the minutes per game.
The minutes per game were terrible. You're right. Like,
no, what is it?
10 minutes per game, which is terrible.
And
9
he's
minutes.
Getting scrubbed minutes. That's what I'm saying. He's not in
9 minutes is 9 minutes.
But listen. We're gonna move past that. We're not gonna sit and argue because Duncan Robinson is not gonna play any meaningful minutes.
I agree. He's not gonna be a change in.
He's not even gonna be in.
Here's the thing, though.
Max Struss is literally in the rotation over him. That's what I'm saying. Max Struss.
I get that. You just mentioned before that you got a guy like Kyle Lowry out, so they're gonna need somebody else to move up in the rotation. Yeah, they got Cody Martin, who's gonna be a point guard now.
That's who's moving up in the rotation.
Duncan Robinson is gonna also move up in the rotation, get some.
But that's what I'm saying. Max Struss already took those minutes.
He has those already. He has those minutes.
No,
with another
Kyle
guy that's
Lowry's been out for 3-4 games, and Max Struss has took those minutes with Caleb. That's what I'm saying. They already filled in that spot.
I get it, but he's played in the previous series.
But that's not even the point. So, because we said
even if he only plays a few minutes, my point is that they have 3-point shooters.
No, they don't. That's my point. They don't, because he hasn't played no meaningful minutes to even be a factor. The only other person they got is Max Struss, because Tyler Hero is literally shooting 27.3%. No one on that team has been shooting anything good besides Butler and Max Struss. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna build the wall about Jimmy Butler and force.
I definitely disagree with that because
give me a percentage of somebody besides PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker is mostly a defensive player.
Threes.
He's mostly a defensive player, but I was actually gonna bring up Victor Oladipo because he's been actually playing very well as well.
Give me his 3-point percentage.
Well, in the first round, his 3-point percentage was great. He was 38% from the three. Overall, 18 for 46. Because you got to count the corner threes as well. And in the second series, I mean, he actually played very good. I remember in the third game, he actually played very good as well. So
I'm not asking for.
In the second series, his 3-point percentage wasn't great. It was 32%, but inside he plays great. You know, he's more of
But
a
we're
mid
talking about
range
three.
player.
But that's the same. We're not talking about Victor Oladipo as a person. We're talking about three.
I get it, but in the
They
first
have
in
no-
the first
the
series,
do you know who their most consistent scorer for the whole season was?
Jimmy.
No,
Oh, what would you say?
it was Tyler.
What you just mentioned, Tyler Hero had terrible percentages.
For the postseason, that's my whole point.
Right.
Their best player in the season besides Jimmy
But-
hasn't been able to score.
I don't
That's
know.
literally
But
what
how
I'm
would you
saying.
say that when Tyler Hero had less points than Jimmy? Like, why would you even say that? Jimmy's been playing pretty good. He had
I
like
said
24
consistent.
points. Well, Jimmy's very consistent this year. 24 points a game. He was,
Tyler Hero was their most consistent player when it came to points
and he was a bench player.
I understand, but this how you when we had the 6-man episode, you say he's got most of those points from starting a lot.
He did when Duncan Robinson was
And that's
out.
why he was the most
And that's why Duncan Robinson is just getting back in rotation because he was out for a long time.
No, he lost it. That's what I'm saying. Max Struss took it from him.
He lost it when he was injured, and then this was like 40
Duncan
games
Robinson
in.
is the biggest liability on defense. Max
Of course
Struss took
he
his
is.
spot,
I
and
agree
that's
with
why they
that.
don't start him in the
I agree with
playoffs.
that, and I think that Jimmy is as well.
You know how many people been making whole like things like y'all paid this man all that money and y'all don't even play him because they can't play him. That's why people been making such a big deal because Max Struss off that little contract he got getting picked up is getting more playoff minutes than the $59 million person you're paying in Duncan Robinson.
I mean,
that's literally what's been the whole.
I'll give you that. I'll definitely give you that point, but that's not even my point. Listen, all you need from him is 1 or 2 threes. That's it. I'm not asking for him to be like what Grant Williams was and get 25, 27 points. Like, Tyler Hero's going to get his points. Jimmy Butler's going to get his points. I get it. You guys have really good defense, and
Duncan Robinson is literally averaging 5 points this playoff.
I mean, that's all he needs. He needs like 2 threes a game. That's all he needs. That's literally all he needs. That's
not even 2, and you're paying the man $59 million.
I totally agree with your point before. I definitely agree with he's getting paid too much.
That's the point.
A lot of that is just because he's coming back into the rotation because he was injured. So that is a lot of it.
Max Struss is averaging 12.5 points.
And that's true. But remember, Duncan
spot.
was out after the 40th game of the season. He just started coming back like the end of the season. And he wasn't starting at all. That's why my man Tyler Hero had to step it up. If you remember, Duncan Robinson's like an 18-point player. He can easily be that again. I think he will be once his injury... happens.
Okay.
But that's not even the point there. Like
I know. The whole point was they have no shooters.
But they do. You just said Struss.
That's it.
They do have Hero. They do have
27.3% in the playoffs.
But he scores. But he's a scorer. So let's say he's a scorer.
But I'm talking about shooters.
Okay.
The ball's gonna be in Jimmy's hand.
I get that.
Jimmy's gonna try to get his.
But Jimmy's a mid-range player too, though.
But Jimmy's literally like, and that's as long as we stop him from getting his, especially in between the 3 and the paint, that's where he get his. He's gonna try to get assists. There's no one to get assists to, just like Giannis. Those people who can get shots, but consistently.
I think that because they don't necessarily have to even get 3-pointers. He can go inside, pass the rock off, and they can go inside and get. The number one thing is yes, it's threes, but it's also layups and free throws. If you can get threes, layups, and free throws, that's the one thing you can get. One thing,
but they're not getting that against the best defense in the league.
Well, I think that they will. They will. There's a reason why they had a better record in the regular season.
Just to show you, I'm not biased. Because obviously, everything you say about the Heat, because in my head, I full-heartedly believe we outdo them in so many boxes.
Yeah, I mean,
here's the one thing they outdo us in, and you are atrocious for saying this.
What's that?
They have prolific perimeter defense.
Who's that? You guys?
The Heat.
The Heat.
You said that no. You said that they don't. You said that they don't even have great 3-point.
Yeah, they do. They have PJ. Of course they do. What do you mean? Kyle Lowry, PJ Tucker, they're great defenders. No,
just said
dude,
that.
they have one of the best defenders. I never said that because they have PJ Tucker. You wouldn't hear me say it because even in the last episode, when they were playing against Philadelphia, I even said that they have one of the best defenses. So you're wrong.
3 minutes and 58
You're wrong,
seconds
bro.
ago.
Run it back. I don't even care what you say because I know what I said, bro.
You literally said that they have great paint
Okay,
defense.
well, listen, if I said that, I might have made a mistake with what I said, but I definitely didn't say that because in a previous episode, if you guys heard us, I know you did.
I bet you said that.
Okay, whatever, even if I did, I just said I might have made a mistake, but I definitely wouldn't have meant it because, or I didn't say it. Obviously, because if you remember in that Heat versus Philadelphia episode, I was telling you about their defense and PJ Tucker going against Harden and Maxey. I knew that they were going to stop him very easily, and I think that that's going to happen a lot too. I think you guys are going to have to really rely on either JT or Brown, but one of those is going to have to step up more because I think they're going to try to stop one of them.
Granted, while they do got prolific defense, you also said after that that we have one of the best 3 points.
I don't think I ever said that. Honestly, we can run that back though.
We said about our 3-point shooting, which was that was correct. Because like I said, when it comes to what I feel about the Celtics, I'm gonna actually say. So yeah, you was 100% right. We definitely got the best 3-point shooting team in the playoffs by far.
Yeah, you do.
Lit the fuck out of the Bucks pretty much. 15 for 41 per game against the Bucks. We shot up 41 threes and made at least 15 of them on average. Especially with that third game.
That last game of the Bucks, that 7 game is going to bring down everything, though, because they shot like 43s and they only made 4.
Oh, I'm talking about our percentage, the Celtics.
Oh, y'all.
Yeah.
I thought
against
you
the
meant
Bucks, we won every game average, we shot up 47 threes and hit 15.
That's a crazy amount of threes.
2 of those games, we hit 20-plus threes. So like I said, we are the best 3-point shooting team in the league right now, and we're actually going up against the best perimeter defense in the league right now.
But so I think you guys have other ways to score the ball. I definitely think you do. I think that right now Al Horford is going to be really big key in this because him going against Bam, that's going to be a big factor in it. And I do think that JT is probably going to have to take over, or Brown, because it depends on who PJ Tucker wants to cover, man. And I think he might want to take...
No, it's going to have to be JT.
Yeah, I think he might want to take JT. That's why I think Brown might have to step it up.
Any team goal is to take JT and basically let Brown beat you. Obviously, like, you're going to try to stop Brown, too. But your better choice is, like, if you go out against KD and Kyrie, your better choice is to take KD.
Yeah.
And let Kyrie beat you.
So in Game 7, Milwaukee versus Boston, Mike Budenholzer, coach from Milwaukee, he told his guys before the game, he was like, make sure JT doesn't beat us like he beat us in Game 6. Just take him. That's why Grant Williams was so open in that corner, and they just let him have those threes. They didn't adjust, and they just let him have them, and that's pretty much how you guys won it. So,
and that's the thing. They should have adjusted. Like,
halftime. They should have adjusted.
Because he started off, I ain't gonna front. He looked bad. He misses like probably 1 out of 5, 6, 7.
He was 1 out of 8 at one point. Yeah,
like he looked bad, but then he just started raining them second half, and at that point you gotta adjust because it's a close game. And at that point, it
was close to the third quarter.
JT's out, and that's when one of those crucial threes he hit came in to extend our lead. And then from there, it
was that 1 3 that he hit, and then he got the rebound and he passed it off to Marcus Smart, and Marcus hit that other one,
and that's what I'm saying.
That got you guys up to 22, and that's where it just demoralized them. But I do think that the Miami Heat are going to be a little bit better at stopping you guys at the 3 for sure.
Oh yeah,
holding. They have a lot more forwards that are bigger, longer, so they are matching up very well against you guys. I mean, even Tyler Hero matching up against somebody like Brown, I think that's a decent matchup on defense. He's not that bad of a defender. I know he gets beat sometimes on faster guys, but somebody like Brown that's that likes to play in the mid-range game and dunk, I think that Tyler Hero could take him because he plays a little bit shorter game. He doesn't start on the outside and go all the way in. So that could be a good matchup for me. I am going to be worried about Bam, though. Like, Bam, you guys don't really have nobody that can stop Bam, honestly. I mean, if you look at the last game of the Giannis and you guys, he had 20 rebounds on you guys. Like, he out-rebounded you guys a crazy amount. Like, by himself, he almost had more rebounds. He had 100 and something rebounds. And your guys' whole team, like, at one point had only, like, 110. This was by the 4th game, so... I mean, it's crazy that if you get big guys that can out rebound you, that's gonna create second chance opportunities, and you know that's true. And that's one thing you guys were doing good against Milwaukee, but you're gonna have to worry about that here. But I mean, we talked about this a little bit, and unless you want to say some more, let's just go into it. Who you got?
One more thing.
Okay.
Because I just don't understand.
Let me wait.
You said we have no one to guard, like, Bam. That was our issue in 2020. The biggest difference is we finally have bigs to guard Bam in Al Horford, Grant Williams, and Time Lord. Giannis is a 7-foot athletic freak who could take 2 steps from half court and damn near dunk. Of course, he was out rebounding us. Grant Williams is literally the same size as Bam Adebayo. He's literally 6'9". Who is he out rebounding on our team?
Bam?
He averages 7 rebounds.
Who, Bam?
Yes.
Bam averages 7 rebounds.
The playoffs, he averages
10
7.
rebounds. 10 rebounds
The
in the playoffs.
playoffs, he averages
10
7.
rebounds in the playoffs. He upped his average last when.
I literally took the stats today from NBA.com.
Well, I have him
7.
right here, bro.
7.
You're actually wrong because the stats say it. He averaged 10 last series, and I don't even know what he averaged before that, but he averaged 10.
You
10,
said last
10.1.
series. I'm talking about the playoffs.
Okay, well,
The playoffs,
even in the
bro.
playoffs. Let's see the playoffs.
But that's what I'm saying. You
Let's
can't
see the
just
playoffs.
pull from series. He averages 7.7 rebounds. Who
Well,
is he
the most recent,
out-rebounding?
he out-rebounded, most recently, he out-rebounded guys like Embiid. So, I mean, you got to give him something. I think that he's a way bigger guy than anyone else you guys have as far as a paint guy. Al Horford is the closest.
Horford will lock his ass up and
he's
out-rebound
the closest that
Time Lord out-rebounding him.
He's
and that's not
definitely
even
the
me
closest.
saying this as a bias. Like, Bam Adebayo is not a great rebounder. He's literally 6'9". He's
6'9", but he averages over 10. Like, I mean, like this. I'm talking about the playoffs. Like,
he averages 7.7 in the playoffs. I literally just told you. He averages 7.7.
let's. I mean, you're gonna have to recheck that while we just talk about like.
I just pulled that from NBA.com today.
Well, I think you're definitely wrong because I mean, like in the regular season, he averaged 19, 10 rebounds and 3 assists, and he averaged 10.1 in the playoffs. So I'm sorry, but that's wrong right there. You were right about his first 6 games in the playoffs. He averaged 14, 7, and 2 assists. But in the last 5 games, he averaged 14, 11, and 5. So in the playoffs or the playoff series against Philadelphia,
I'm literally talking
he averaged
about
way
the
better.
average of average. Like, I'm not talking
The
about
average-
specific series. He averages 7.7 rebounds for every game he played in the playoffs.
All right, but
We're
in
pulling
the
series
regular, if
and
you look at his
games,
regular season stats,
he's literally 2 more
20 and
boards
10.
at 10. 10 is not a prolific rebounder, bro.
compared to anyone else, who
That's
averages
average.
10 on your team?
I'll show you.
Nobody. You guys
I don't think
have
anyone
a 10.
does, but
Nobody
listen,
does.
He's not going to. You saying that he's going to outboard people on my team like
But
he's a
he
prolific?
is.
He's not.
But he
not.
definitely is though. That's the one thing you guys.
Not.
That's the one thing that
Like,
you guys
he's
gonna have to watch
literally
out for.
6'9" and averages 7.7 this whole rebound. You say he literally outboarded out Embiid. He averages 7.7 rebound. He did not get more boards than
He
Embiid
got
that
10.
whole.
I just told you he had over 10 rebounds in that series.
And how many Embiid got?
I'm sure he got more.
But that's what I'm saying. So who's he out rebounding?
But Embiid's 7 foot. He's 6'9".
Okay, and we just got Giannis. Who you just
and
you
Giannis just got 20 rebounds on y'all.
And Embiid did the same thing against them.
Okay, but not really. But
he did.
He didn't get 20. He got like 10, 15. But because he's injured, he doesn't get like 35 minutes like he used to.
But I'm saying you not like.
But I'm just saying
7.7. You can't convince me that 7.7. I'm literally giving you the stats. 7.7. He's not a prolific rebounder.
And I just gave you the stats in the previous series that the closest we've seen him.
See, I'm talking about the
against
whole
the
playoffs.
big guy. Okay, even in the regular. So how about the regular season then? We
10.
can't bring that in.
10. That's not a prolific rebounder.
Is there anybody on your team that averages 10?
No.
So do you think
But
he's gonna out
They literally
rebound?
average 7 or 8.
Okay, exactly. So is he gonna out rebound the guys on your team? Yes,
No.
he is. He's gonna out rebound. Yes, he is. He's gonna get more rebounds than anyone.
He's
else.
not gonna out rebound. No.
He's gonna get more rebounds than any other player on your team throughout the series.
No.
Why wouldn't he?
Because he's gonna get boxed out. You act like we're not gonna put like that. He
Stop
has
it!
7.7
Stop, that's
rebound.
a bias right there.
No,
7.7, bro. Like
you literally
okay,
act like
who
you don't have the game plan to keep
who
him
averaged
off the board.
7.7 for you guys? Like Tatum, maybe. That's it. And Tatum doesn't even maybe average like 7.7. But like nobody averages even if he averages 7.7.
Jaylen Brown averages 6.5.
Okay, 6.5. That's not more than
Al
7.7.
Horford averages 9.4.
Okay, so 9.4. So he's gonna be comparable.
Al Horford.
But that's in the regular season.
No,
that's in the playoffs.
That's in the playoffs.
Okay.
Al Horford
Okay,
out rebounds him in the playoffs.
So we'll have to see that though. But in the regular season,
I was giving you those stats without even looking. He literally is barely better at rebounding than Jaylen Brown. I don't want to hear that.
Bro, you're talking about a playoff series.
I'm talking about one playoff series.
No, because I just gave you the playoff series previously. You're not even listening.
Because
like,
I'm giving you the whole playoffs.
Okay, well, what about...
You're talking about one playoff series. I'm talking about the whole playoffs.
Okay.
During the whole playoffs, and we
So why can you bring that up and I can't bring it the regular season?
Because we're in the playoffs.
Okay, so...
In the playoff teams
all right, so the last thing that we seen him in...
strategy.
The last thing we saw him do was get 10 rebounds per game against a guy that's 7 foot. So you don't think he's going to be able to do that against a guy that's 6'10" and Al Horford?
He didn't get 10 rebounds a game against Embiid.
not every minute was against Embiid. You're right, but I mean, I think that he's gonna be out rebounding a guy like Al
But here's
Horford.
my
That's
point.
for sure.
We have a person on
And
our
we could bet
team
on
who
that
out
one.
rebounded him in the playoffs. So for you to say that that's going to be a strength that we don't have no one who can stop Bam is atrocious.
I mean,
That's
I didn't say
atrocious.
he can. I never said like he can't be stopped. I said that he's gonna out rebound you guys, and he's gonna be able to get those second chance opportunities from Miami, which is gonna help. But let's just finish this off and just bring it into the who you got because
You already
this
know
is
who I got.
interesting.
No, it's gonna be a
because you
tough
know what,
series.
it's gonna be a crazy series, and I mean for me, honestly, for me, you definitely like gave me a few things to think about, and just because I got the Miami jersey on, if y'all watching, like, doesn't mean that I might necessarily pick them. I just think it's gonna be a crazy good series.
It
This
is.
series is gonna be really
can't
well
wait.
played. I think it's gonna be close. Like I think it's gonna be a lot closer than you think. The defenders on Miami are gonna be playing one of your guys, either Tatum or Brown, very well in the first few games until you guys adjust and figure out who's gonna have to like literally carry the team throughout the series. And also they added some new awards for the conference finals. They added an MVP for the conference finals, so I'm sure somebody wants to get that as well.
That's a fact.
It's a brand new thing, so we'll see what happens with that. But for me, I think it's gonna be a 7-game series, and it's gonna end up, literally, it's literally gonna come down to Jimmy Butler versus one of the two guys, either Tatum or Brown. And for me, it's gonna be Brown. I think Brown is gonna take over this series for the Celtics. I know I've been giving Miami a lot of praise, but that's just because I have to contradict with a little bit of what you say because I don't want to give you too much bias and just make sure that
I hear you.
To make sure that you're not just like saying that your team is the best just cause, but you're not. Your team is definitely great this year, and their defense has been prolific, and Miami's defense has been pretty decent. I think Bam is going to be able to hold down the interior, so we'll see what happens with your guys' 3-point players. If you guys are going to start hitting more threes in this series, so honestly, I might have to take. Man, let me think about this for a second. Let me ask who you got real quick.
I got Celtics in 6.
Celtics is 6. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry's not gonna be out for a game or two. We actually might not have Smart for the first game.
Yeah, he looks like his groin is injured.
Yeah, so we'll see. But if we don't, like, I'm just gonna go with 6. If it goes 7, it don't matter.
Right.
We actually are 4-1 on the road.
That's true.
And the one we lost was that 103-101 heartbreaker.
Well, you guys tore up the
Milwaukee.
Brooklyn Nets, and you beat them both in Brooklyn.
Right,
so
yeah.
I mean,
And we beat Milwaukee
once, yeah, right?
One.
No, twice. You had to beat them. Yeah, you beat them twice because they beat you guys.
So we beat. We had 2. So
yeah,
as long as we can get 2 home wins.
Yeah, I mean,
this series again.
I think it's 6.
That's 6.
So I mean, for me, I think, like I said, I think
2 away wins this series.
2 away. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of these 2 Miami games in Miami. The first 2, you guys are gonna win one. Boston will, and then one of the 2 in Boston, Miami's gonna win one. So I think it's gonna end up 2-2 in the first 4 games. After that, like I said, I think it's gonna be a 7-game series. But you know what? You kind of talked me into a lot of it, man. You definitely did. I mean, I definitely have a lot of praise for Jimmy and Miami and the whole squad.
Hey,
Eric Spoelstra. I mean, he's one of the best coaches of all time. If we could just say it. I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have as many rings as Popovich or Phil Jackson, but as far as bringing teams together, when he doesn't have the number 1 guy in the league, he's definitely a top guy in that. I'm gonna have to give it to the Celtics, man. I think you guys are gonna take a Game 7, just like you did in Milwaukee. I think somebody's gonna take over. It's gonna be Brown for me. I think Brown is gonna get that little trophy for the conference finals.
Oh, he's gonna get that Larry Bird.
Yeah, that Larry Bird trophy. Yeah, the first one that ever given out.
Nice.
Who do you think's gonna get it? The little trophy.
Oh, it's gonna be JT.
JT, okay. So I got Brown, you got JT, but we both got the Celtics moving on. I got him in 7, you got him in 6.
Oh, yes.
But
Big
I
C's,
mean,
baby.
It's gonna be a debate when we talking about our favorite team. So
oh, that's a fact.
That's a fact. Now we got to bring it on to the other side, the West.
I almost forgot about that.
I know, right? Because we had such a long one about the Celtics, though. So
I know, but the West
is fire.
We got a matchup:
Don't
Warriors versus
the Dallas Mavericks. But real quick before we start that one, I mean, I picked the Dallas Mavericks when we started the playoffs.
He did.
And but right before this series, I picked the Mavericks. Everyone was calling me crazy. They were like, "Nah, Mavericks don't got it." But I did say that the Mavericks were gonna step it up. Luka Doncic were gonna step it up, and Booker was not gonna step it up. I said that he wasn't gonna get over 25, and he didn't. So I definitely got that
you have
crazy
no choice
prediction,
but to
man.
keep up with the Mavs.
So now it's just gonna be can Luka do it with the squad against a team that's already proven championship caliber team?
I don't know.
The
Right now,
Warriors.
obviously, you said a lot of good things about the Celtics. But the Warriors are the team to beat. The
That's for sure.
Warriors are the team to beat. Obviously, just like every time Luka entered a playoff matchup, he's gonna be the underdog.
Yeah.
Every single time. So it's basically just like back where we supposed to be, man. They were a coin flip to beat the Jazz, and like you said, no one expected them to beat the Suns. And at this point, no one expects them to beat the Warriors, really. It's basically Luka, like I said, Luka versus the world, man.
Hey,
It's
man,
just
that's true though. I mean, Luka versus the world, but he's been doing it.
oh
And
yes,
he's been doing it, but he's got a few guys there that can help him out a little bit in
oh yes,
spurts. In spurts.
oh yes. The Warriors, I'll be honest, they're gonna get their offense like they're gonna get it, but their only worry right now is trying to find a way to throw the kitchen sink at Luka.
Right.
Especially after that goddamn game seven performance.
Whew.
They are pretty much lining up Wiggins, lining up Draymond, lining up Kaminga. Like, all right, here's what has to happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're trying their best to keep Jordan Poole away from him.
Yeah, I would
try
too.
their
I would.
best
I would
to keep
definitely
that
keep him
man
away.
off of
Nah,
him.
I wouldn't.
Luka's gonna be sniping for him all night.
Yeah,
Him and Curry
yeah.
to try to get him on those matchups.
There's gonna be a lot of pick and rolls.
Oh yeah, that's
They're
all
gonna be
the
trying to do
playoffs
switches.
is.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
that's what Luka was doing and getting Chris Paul. He was switching and making sure Chris Paul was on him and getting able to get around him.
That's all. True. That's all that is. So yeah, so it's definitely about to be a hell of a matchup. Honestly, it's gonna come down to obviously how good can they stop Luka,
Yeah.
and can the Mavs get any goddamn boards?
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
Both these teams kind of struggle.
They don't have a
with
big man
boards.
right now.
Neither
Neither one of them.
really. Yeah,
Neither one of them. I mean,
And-
Mavs are dependent on Kleber, and right now, like really, the Warriors, Draymond is their best option. Honestly, I mean,
yeah. And obviously neither one of them is a rebounder.
Looney maybe, but
But the Mavs have been the worst offensive rebounding team.
Yeah.
Or at least the worst at allowing other teams offensive rebounds.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And that's crucial when a team like shooters that could be open off them rebounds like the Warriors.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not
sure.
something you want to do. That's not gonna kill you with a team like you just faced in the Suns. They couldn't hit shit.
That's true.
You're not like the
Other than
Warriors are
Booker,
not.
they
That's what
couldn't.
I'm saying. The Jazz and you don't got no damn shooters over there.
No, I agree with that point because I definitely think that like if they try to get rebounders inside, 2 or 3 guys inside to try to get that rebound, and you
miss
guys
it?
have like
Exactly.
open guys and somebody else gets
With
it.
that small ball lineup,
It's
and
easy
that's
for
what I'm
them
saying.
to-
Warriors are
yeah.
gonna. The offense is gonna come. They're not worried about that.
That's why
What
I think
they're worried
that
about is rebounding and defense for Luka.
I think that Draymond's probably going to be taking that defensive strategy to try to take Luka in the beginning.
I think
I don't
Andrew
know if,
Wiggins,
like-
an all-star defender.
I
So
mean,
when
Wiggins
they played
will
in the regular
definitely-
season, he gets the first assignment.
I think he definitely
if
will.
he
Wiggins,
needs a
but
break or if they need to switch, Draymond second.
I think Draymond's going to
Draymond
try it.
second.
I just think there's going to be a lot of switching because they're going to try to get Curry
I think
on
he's
some
too
switches.
fast for Draymond at this point in his career. Though.
Yeah, he definitely is. That's
He's
why.
like Draymond's too slow at this point.
But going in the middle, like in the middle of the lane, Draymond will be able to hold him
At
down
least-
or at least
keep a
foul
hand
him
on him,
and
yeah.
get him a little rough in there so he doesn't get easy shot and in the
But I feel
layup.
like there's a lot of teams where like there's players where like that's what you get paid to do, and Wiggins. Like,
Wiggins,
he's the person like he's the one who gets that defensive assignment for whoever the best person is on the other team.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, Draymond's he's a defensive player to ear for a reason though. So
Oh
like,
yeah, but that's a big
I mean-
worth. Like when it comes to like Luka's literally coming in as a point guard.
I
They're
mean,
gonna put
but Luka's the
Wiggins
type
on
of
him
player
at
just
first.
like LeBron. I see Luka's type of body style just like LeBron. Yeah, he's a point guard, but he's a big man just like LeBron. So he likes to dunk it,
yeah.
and Draymond loves to guard like LeBron. And I feel like
Yeah,
he's
but
the same
Luka's
type of
faster.
style.
Luka's faster
Nah,
than both of them.
I don't see. I think Luka's
With
slower.
the ball, so it's
think
no.
Luka's
Here's
slower.
the thing, like
Luka's crossover might be faster.
and
but,
no, that's the thing.
but his
Luka's
movement-
speed probably isn't as fast as LeBron, but when he got the
Oh,
ball in his
definitely
hands, coming off a pick and roll, coming off, the way he makes his moves, he gets by you, and that's what I'm
He
saying.
can get by you. Yeah, his
and that's the
crossover is
thing,
fast.
People don't really get it because
No,
he
his
don't look
crossover
so
is fast.
fast.
But the Euro
But
step is
Draymond,
slow.
He's about to get
The step back is
yeah.
slow. Like I mean, it's not like LeBron's. Like LeBron is a lot quicker at that. But
Yeah, no, LeBron got
I mean,
a lot more athleticism.
I agree
for
that
sure.
it's not going to be Draymond every time. I just think they're going to start him out in the first few games,
Yeah,
test
no,
him
they're
out
gonna-
because they're going to need to do something. like you said, is gonna be Luka versus the world, and who else on Dallas is gonna do
Nah,
it?
they're gonna put Curry on Brunson. No, they're gonna put Thompson on Brunson, Wiggins on Draymond, and then put probably not Wiggins on fucking Luca,
Yeah,
and then start off with Draymond on fucking Kleba.
Kleba, yeah,
That's what they're gonna want. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and then Poole on the
Because
bench is gonna
Draymond
have
could
to get
guard Kleba, like Kleba
Dinwiddie.
hasn't ran into a big that can keep with him on the outside. He's been facing big bigs that you know what I'm saying. Like
True,
he pulls them out.
true.
He they can't do that with Draymond. Draymond can run his ass back
Yeah,
and forth.
yeah,
Like,
he can run.
He's gonna
He can run.
he excels in that. Actually, that's what they're gonna try to do. Keep him on Draymond so that way when Draymond try to crash in, they can get that 3-point shot because Kleber's a fantastic shooter.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I could see the Warriors even starting like Looney at some
And
point.
they might do that just for
you know,
that.
just to have like
Just to
Looney
do that.
and Draymond can actually move over and,
That's
and
the
do
thing
Luka.
because you got to realize Draymond's defensive player of the year, but his best defense come off ball.
Right.
So that's why they're not gonna want him on Luka. They're gonna want him on one of the wings.
He's
Probably they're gonna put him on Tim Hardaway.
he gets a lot of steals though,
words.
bro. He gets a lot of steals. Like he definitely gets a lot of steals. But I do agree with your point about the rebounding that you were saying before. I think that the Warriors have way better rebounding to this point, even though they don't have as many bigs like as other teams do in the league. I mean they're out rebounding right now, Dallas 43-36, which is pretty crazy. And this is just in the playoffs, you know. And their assists are incredible for the Warriors. 27 assists per game to 18 assists, and they're always number one in the league.
That's what I'm saying.
For
assists. Their offense, especially with the ball in Draymond's hands, and that's another thing too. One, just so you said, Andrew Wiggins actually one of the best offensive rebounders this postseason. That's one thing people don't like. They sleep on him. He's tall at 6'8" guy.
Yeah, he is.
And that's in the West. He's one of the best. You know what I'm saying? So that's crucial for him this series to be able to get those misses, especially if he's one guarding Luka. Get the board. Don't let Luka. Luka got a lot of his own buckets this last series against the Suns, and I didn't get that. But basically, when you were saying not the rebounder with the assists, like Draymond, he's gonna be so crucial this series. Not with just his assists. I think he has to take more of an offensive step up. This series for them to be a little bit more.
I can see that, but I don't really think so at all. I don't agree with that at all because I think that they have enough. They got Curry, they got Klay Thompson. I mean, Wiggins is gonna score. They still got Poole. They got Kuminga that can come off the bench. Like they got players that could score. Like it's nobody's business. The question for me is Dallas gonna be able to keep up with them because Warriors average 114 points a game these playoffs, and I mean I know Dallas scores a lot too. Over 106, but I mean, I think that it's going to be tough for them to score every time with a team like the Warriors. And you saw that in a few games against the Suns. When they were playing at home against the Suns a few times, the Suns outscored them like crazy. And it was like a blowout, 120-100. And it was tough for them to score in the third and fourth quarter. And the one thing the Warriors are known for is that third quarter. And that's one thing for me is Luka going to be able to come in after halftime? And is a guy like Dinwiddie going to be able to come in?
That's the one.
Is he going to be able to do what he did in that seventh game and the Suns? Because I remember saying this last series. I said that Dinwiddie was going to go over 15, and he did. And I think he needs to do the same thing and possibly go over 20. He needs to go over 20 for me in this. Like 20, close to 20. 20 to, 19 to 20, let's say.
If you would have told me, like, right now at this point, because of the injuries, and obviously he's still balling out. Jalen Brunson right now has 22 points per game, second behind Luka's 31. But Spencer Dinwiddie is at 13, and a lot of that came from the second series.
That's also the third series he only scored. Sorry, not Thursday. This series previously. 2 of the games, he only scored like 2 points each,
and that's the problem.
That's what brought him. It brought him like all the way down. So he was inconsistent in 2 of those games.
Exactly. So he's technically their second best scorer. Like Jalen Brunson's gonna get his, but when they're calling offense, if the ball's not in Luka's hand, they're trying to get Spencer.
But, well, not now because Spencer's on the bench now, so he's coming off the bench. So they got Brunson starting, so they're gonna need Brunson to be the second guy. He's gonna need to. The only thing with Brunson is
do more.
But
his stats fell off this series.
Brunson doesn't score threes. That's his problem. Right. He only scores like 1-3 a game. So that his problem is that he likes to go inside. He likes to do layups and he likes to dunk and shoot mid range shots. He's not a great 3-point shooter, kind of like Luka is, kind of like Dinwiddie is. Dinwiddie shoots like 3 a game.
Oh yeah.
Or sorry, he makes like 3 a game. So that's one problem with Brunson. I think he might need to switch that up and start taking more threes, because this series threes are gonna matter. And it's gonna be 3 for 3.
I think that's why they might have to put Brunson back on the bench to allow him to come off the bench.
That would be interesting
to give
for me.
Spencer more.
That would be interesting.
And come on, but that's how they started.
I know, and when Luka, they first made that trade,
he's been so hot. Not Spencer. Fucking Brunson's been so hot in the first round that all right, fuck it, you're both starting. But this might be the series where you need that scoring from Brunson coming off the bench, and you might want to incorporate, because you need to give Luka a rest when he's on the court. And he's not gonna be able to. Just the Suns.
I kind of agree
with that. While the Suns
too.
had a great defender in Mikal Bridges, they didn't have an over great defensive team. The Warriors, we already know what their defense could bring. Granted, they're out Gary Payton.
Still got defenders that could like steal the ball from you, and they hit passes a lot.
Andrew Wiggins, obviously Draymond. Kuminga's a great body
defender.
Length
Great defender.
He don't have the stats.
Looney's
yet,
a good defender too, though. On the
he
inside,
has a body type and the length for it. And then obviously, I personally don't think so, but a lot of people in the NBA community still think that Klay has it.
I think he does. Next year he's gonna be way better than he is this year.
See, I think, and this is probably a very, very unpopular opinion. I thought that he should have had his lockdown badge taken away before he got injured.
Oh no, not at all. He was definitely a great lockdown. He's first NBA All Defense. I don't agree
with it. At one point in his career.
Well, yeah, before he got injured.
Not the year before he got injured.
Not exactly there, because they had KD
before he got injured.
But they had KD there, yeah. But the year before that,
on defense,
maybe the year they had KD, because they were focusing more on offense.
Mind you,
the last year they had
he's
KD.
Still an above average defender. But remember, we consider Klay like.
He's first NBA All Defense. He deserves that at one point. I agree with you now.
But just like this, Paul George is not a lockdown defender in my opinion no more either. But
you don't fall off from there to like bottom tier.
Oh no,
like he's gonna fall off.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
he's still
when it comes to like just some point, when it comes to on your own team, and it's not just because of injury. Like Andrew Wiggins is a better defender than Klay.
But I think that's fine for him now. I think that's fine for him now.
But for me, that's
because
what I'm saying.
He needs to focus on offense right now.
No, and that's fine. But I'm saying like he's just like he's an above average defender. But to me, I don't consider him as an elite defender anymore. And that was for me. I
promise you that's gonna change next year. I promise you it will. You will see. He's gonna be a totally different player next year. That was before the injury.
He was to me. He was already losing a step.
That might have been because they were trying something different on offense. I'll be honest, because that's the last year they had KD and they were the first number one offensive defense. I know, but they were number one offensive team in the league, and they were just running it so fast. They weren't really even paying attention to that. At that point, I don't know. He was first time All NBA player at some point, so I can't say
he's still an above average defender.
That's what I mean. Even if he fell off, he's still
an above average.
Exactly, he's still better than like half of the guys that are playing, and
more than half.
And honestly, like this series is not gonna like be too much about defense to me. No. It's gonna be about the 3-pointers, and it's gonna be a lot about who the bench guys are, because I think a guy like if a guy like you say Brunson could go to the bench, I think he could definitely score. But I'm saying that if it stays like it is now, and Dinwiddie's on the bench, he should definitely be able to score, get his 15 a game. Hopefully, get a few games that he gets 20. And my question is, if on the Warriors, if Kuminga's gonna come in, or is it Pools just gonna come out and get hot, and is he just gonna ball out?
Klay's shooting fantastic. Curry hasn't even hit top form yet. Draymond's doing Draymond things. Poole's playing great playoff basketball.
True.
And Kuminga's honestly fitting in where he can fit in.
Right. It's true. They got so many guys, honestly. They really do.
What they're missing is that goddamn Gary Payton Jr.
Gary Payton Jr. and, of course, James Wiseman is out.
Crucial.
But, you know what? They are talking about him possibly coming in. I don't know if it's going to be this series or if they make it to the finals, in the finals.
You've been saying that all playoffs.
They keep talking about this. Literally,
this
is not me, though. This is them. This is the Warriors. Every time they say, oh, he's actually practicing. Oh, he's doing layup drills. Like, what do you expect us to say? Like,
you said that the first series.
That's what they said.
Damn, I missed him. You said that the second series. I looked it up one night when we went home from the bar. He's not eligible He didn't play enough for the season. He's just suiting up and going to the game. He literally can't even play in the postseason.
Why wouldn't he be able to play in the postseason?
He didn't play enough for the season.
But
he
doesn't
he
have
got injured
anything to
in
do
the
with it.
beginning and just stayed injured
Yeah,
throughout the
but
whole season.
that has nothing
They
to do with
can't
it. Guys
decide
get
to say you're not injured in the last series of the season.
no,
and
guys
come
get
back.
picked up all the time, like for the buyouts, and
But
they
I'm saying
play.
they're not
so.
even thinking about him coming back.
I've heard them talk
Everything
about
that
it,
him
bro.
coming back.
I've heard it.
No, that's
Even
the
Joe
thing.
Lacob literally
when you
just
said
had
that. I literally looked it up.
Bro,
They
Joe
just said
Lacob
they
literally
just
had an
trying to
interview.
Come to the game and learn from the bigs.
That's
in
not
the
what
West.
he said. Joe Lacob literally had an interview and said he's doing layup drills. We might see him game 3.
I don't think we're gonna see.
We
him
might
this
see him.
postseason.
That's what he said. I'm not saying we will see him now. I think most possibly we see him in the finals, not this series. And to me, they're not gonna need him in this series because they've been doing just fine, like out rebounding other teams. Even guys like Jaren Jackson when they were playing for Memphis. But I think that this series is definitely going to come down to rebounding and 3-pointers. And I do think that both teams are going to be able to score a lot of points. But the Warriors, for me, are probably going to be the team that scores more. And it's going to be tough for Dallas to find that second guy, honestly.
No, it's going to be real tough. They're honestly, like I said, Spencer Dinwiddie, he has to do more.
He does,
and
yeah.
he did a little bit more for a couple games, but like you said, he also had those 2 games, like inconsistency. And that luckily those inconsistency were against blowout losses that they were able to come back from. That's not gonna be a good thing to come back from the Warriors.
But that hurts him when he's on the bench, or he's starting first, and then they got Jalen Brunson starting after that, and then they got him on the bench.
That's May 6th.
May 6th, Warriors head coach Steve Kerr said franchise will not revisit the thought of injured center and knee playing this season, no matter how long how the season goes.
May 6th. What I'm saying. It's the reporters trying to push it, but he said months ago that shit is cut.
That's Steve Kerr. I heard something from Joe Lacob the other night.
He said that shit is cut. Like, even if they go to the final, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mean ineligible, but like I was saying, he hasn't played the whole season. They said before the playoffs start, like, we're not bringing him back no matter how long our first season ends. We're gonna play with who we got. But they said we're gonna bring him along, have him suit up, because they want him to learn from the bigs in the West.
Yeah, I mean he should be learning. You know what? Yeah. But and honestly, if he doesn't return and
we're not
right now they don't need him in this series. Possibly in the next series, it depends on who they have to play in the next series. I think they might need him, but right now in this series, I don't think they would need him. So for right now, let's just get him out of there. Let's just not even talk about him.
Or Bam, they don't need him.
I think they might need them if you guys get Robert Williams back fully and he starts playing really well for you guys, like starting. So I think that would be a good matchup, Robert Williams versus James Wiseman. But by that time, James Wiseman wouldn't be starting anyway, so he would only be getting minimal minutes. So I'll be honest. Save and take him out of the rotation.
I don't think I've seen any team that started a person that's been injured in the finals. That's like
there's been plenty of. No, there's been plenty of
So they didn't play
players.
the whole playoffs or more than half the season.
Yeah. They didn't play.
And they started the first time coming back from half the season.
Yeah. Well, no, not
in
even
the finals.
Yeah, they haven't played there's been players that haven't played any games in the season and they started in the finals. Like teams have done that before. Buyout contracts, free agency if teams get injured and they want to get somebody that's a free agent.
I'm not talking about random free agents you're picking up. I'm talking about franchise play. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference in
not franchise play. I agree.
No
with
one,
franchise players.
but I'm saying you're not talking about the same. You're talking about picking up people. I'm talking about someone on your team who got injured on your team and has been injured for 10 months for more than half the season and all the playoffs. You're not starting him or even playing him.
Teams have thought about it.
But they haven't done it.
They've done it before with stars. Like if you
I promise you that hasn't happened.
I mean,
before.
what just happened a few years ago with the Warriors? Didn't what's his name? Clay come out of nowhere and KD came out of when he was injured and he just came into the finals for just to break his. Or it was KD. I'm sorry. No, it was KD. It was KD that came in.
But KD already played.
But he was injured, and then he came in.
And I feel
in the finals. He didn't play in the previous series in the playoffs.
But he played in the playoffs.
But he didn't play in the no. But that season he didn't. He played in the regular season, and then he got injured close to the last week of the regular season. He didn't play in the playoffs, and then he came in the finals.
That's what I'm saying. Like Wiseman's been gone more than half the season.
I'm just saying
they're not about to even activate him for one. They're not about
I'm
to
just saying it
activate
can
him
happen.
for the finals.
If you need him, I would do it. Why not?
That's what I'm saying. You got to. If you're already in the finals, you made it here without him. Why risk your team chemistry, your cohesion, and getting him?
That's a good point. That's definitely a good point. That's a good point.
And that's why
for me, it might be
no
matchups.
matter how long our season lasts,
For me, it
He's
might be
not coming
matchups,
back.
but if Kevin Looney's the type of guy that can, hold down the
Hell,
big
he
man spot,
honestly
and
hasn't been doing the worst.
he's not bad. He's not bad. Like
really
he's averaging
hasn't.
like
Like,
five
they
and
really
five.
sleep on him.
Like 5 and 5 is not
But
bad.
he does. He just got cooked by Jokic.
I mean, it's Jokic, bro. What are you gonna
Jokic,
do? MVP,
though. Yeah.
back to back MVP.
He
but
got cooked by Jokic.
but anyways, let's just go ahead and say this. Who you got for this series?
You already know it, man. I've been saying it since the beginning of the playoffs. Warriors-Celtics. We finally get that rematch that LeBron stole from us in 2018.
He really did.
Oh, not rematch because we didn't have it. But
yeah, and you guys should have been
4 years, and I've been saying
though.
this and not even trying to sound, just a bias. 4 years in the regular season stats prove it because obviously we never faced in the playoffs. We have been one of the best teams that has been well suited to face the Warriors. And obviously I still think we would have lost against Kevin Durant and the Warriors in 2018, but we wouldn't have not gotten fucking swept.
Right.
Like
I don't think so
did.
either.
It would have been a good series. We would have won a game or two. Like, so that's why I was, obviously this is a whole different team on both sides.
But this will be a revenge for you guys
for
Miami because Miami beat you guys in 6 games in 2020. The little Disney championship,
So it'll be nice to get through them and to get to the Warriors because as a Celtics fan, I've been waiting for that Warriors matchup for a while.
So you got Warriors winning this series.
Warriors
versus Dallas. So, I mean, I had Dallas going to the Western Conference Finals before the playoffs started, like I said, and before that Phoenix series. Like I said, people were saying I was crazy. But am I going to be crazy enough to pick them now?
You can't
against the championship caliber
against
team?
Wardell?
Against a team that's won like three rings in 5 years. Against a team that's just came back and been the number one offensive team this season pretty much.
Against Game 6?
I can't do it. I got to go with the Warriors, man. I know Doncic's been playing amazing, and I do think that they're actually going to take him to 6 games. I think this is going to be a 6-game series. I don't think that they're just going to sweep right past them because I do think Doncic's going to take a few in Dallas. They play very good at home. Dallas does
6 as well.
So I think that this is going to be a clean game where the Warriors take the first 2, Dallas takes the next 2, and then Warriors take the next 2. That's what I think is going to be. But I do think Doncic is going to play well. He's going to get around 35 points a game. The other guys are going to have to step it up. And for me, it might have to be Dinwiddie. But on the other side, I really think that Klay is going to step up this series, and he might get that.
Oh, he's in his bag.
He
right
is,
now,
and I think he might get over 25.
More,
yeah,
like comfortable. Like yeah.
So
man.
for me, that MVP award that they're giving out for the conference,
It's Klay's.
For me, it's Klay. Who you got for that?
I see Klay.
You see Klay as well? Yeah.
Steph has not hit full form yet.
Not yet.
And they just gonna keep honing on him and allowing his other teammates to just go off.
But
so
hey,
he's gonna let them.
Let Klay get that little award because I know Curry wants to get one other award. He wants to get that Finals MVP. The one thing he's missing in his career is that Finals MVP. And you know what's coming next? It might be you guys. We both got Celtics and Warriors. It's gonna be a crazy Finals if that happens. Offense versus defense. And superstars all around. It's gonna be crazy, but these playoffs are gonna be awesome. Like watching these conference finals.
Even being a biased Celtics fan, just looking at it from an unbiased view, this has been one of the most competitive and fun playoffs to watch. And honestly, especially these last 2 Game 7s, just really like, oh man. Obviously, one was a freaking shellacking. But the Celtics game was a little competitive at first.
Right.
Yeah.
And real quick, do you remember in the beginning of the season we did a prediction episode and we picked who we said we're gonna go to the finals? Do you remember who you picked?
Of course.
Who'd you pick? Celtics on one side. Who'd you pick on the other side?
Warriors.
Guess who I picked? Celtics and Warriors as well. In the beginning of the season, that's who we both picked.
Bro,
and that's who we stayed with. How crazy is that? That so far. First NBA season, we're doing it. We got them right, first full NBA season,
I have
so
full
we'll
faith
see.
in my team. But I also knew, like, once you started seeing them Warriors coming out and play like that, he was like, oh, they're getting Klay back too. I was like, oh, yeah, they got Wiseman, Kuminga. I was like, yeah, they're back.
Yeah, they pretty much are back. And I think they're even going to be better next year, but that's for another day.
Yeah.
But let's just leave it right here with you guys. Thank you guys so much for checking out this episode. If you guys want to listen to us, check us out wherever you get your podcasts. You want to watch us, check us out on social media, YouTube, and
you already know fan interaction. We love the comments, love the likes. Let us know what you want to hear. NBA playoffs, 2 more rounds, and we got some NFL, UFC, boxing.
What's coming up, baby?
Opinions, debates, whatever you want, man. We're just gonna keep throwing some sports at you.
Sports
So
summer is
catch it.
coming. Sports summer is coming.
Yes,
So
sir.
thank you guys again for checking out this episode of Who You Got with
Mellow.
and Rado. See you guys next time, yo.
Peace.
Peace.